G'day guys, X2KO here, and this is the 24-inch Samsung S24F350FHE monitor, also available in a 27-inch version known as the S24F350FH. Now this is an affordable PLS screen that may make a great monitor, especially for budget-conscious users. So let's take a closer look. Going over the specs, we have a 23.5-inch viewable PLS panel with a 16:9 ratio and a 1080p Full HD resolution of 1920x1080 pixels. It has a 4 millisecond pixel response time, 60Hz refresh rate, 178-degree viewing angles, 1000:1 contrast ratio, and 250 candelas per square meters of brightness. Connectivity is limited to just one HDMI and one VGA input. There is also an eye saver mode and a dedicated game mode, which Samsung claims will optimize color and contrast. Now these are all fairly standard specs seen on other Samsung PLS monitors from the past couple of years, but what is not so standard is the price. Remarkably, its price point is in the same territory as monitors that have cheaper TN panels, which shows that this offers good value for money. Now, PLS technology is very similar to IPS technology and offers superior image quality with wider viewing angles, better contrast and more saturation when compared with a TN panel. But even though it is cheap for a PLS monitor, it still delivers that same great image quality typical of this type of screen technology. And as an added bonus, Samsung has also opted to include something not typically found on budget-friendly monitors, which is FreeSync compatibility. Now bear in mind this only benefits PC gamers with AMD graphics, but if you are one of those people, then this monitor should be of special interest to you. Essentially what it does is synchronizes the monitor and graphics card so as to eliminate issues like screen tearing and stuttering, making for a smoother gaming experience. Now don't be put off if you are an Nvidia user, as this monitor still offers good value for money even though you don't get the benefit of adaptive refresh, and if you are on a fixed budget you won't find a G-Sync compatible monitor at this price anyway. Styling wise, it is pretty generic looking with a glossy bezel that loves fingerprints and an interesting textured back that loves dust and lint. It has a thin tapered top edge, but side on you can see it isn't fully slim, and the menu is controlled by the same toggle found on other Samsung monitors and is, I think, still one of the best controls around. Performance wise, movies and games are punchy with saturated colours, good contrast and decent black levels. Samsung monitors from the last couple of years have had very low input lag, so it shouldn't be an issue here either, especially as this monitor is aimed at gamers, and the 4 millisecond pixel response will mean that there won't be any significant ghosting or blurring. The monitor is rated with a colour gamut of 72% NTSC, which is about 100% sRGB, so could suit non-professional video and graphics work, but bear in mind the default colours tend to be oversaturated, so may need some adjusting in these settings. Being a PLS monitor, it is also ideal for general and office use such as web browsing, word processing and spreadsheets, and enabling the eye saver mode will help reduce eye strain for prolonged use. So far this monitor seems pretty good, but being so cheap there must be some negatives, and there are. The stand is very basic with only backwards tilt adjustability and not a lot of stability, but thankfully there are VESA mounting holes so you can mount it to an aftermarket stand. If you hate the sight of cables, well, you might find the positioning of the inputs and lack of any cable management a bit annoying, as it means you are going to see them hanging out the back. The monitor also does not have any built-in speakers, but more surprisingly it doesn't have a 3.5mm audio out jack, so take note, especially you Xbox and PlayStation users. You can still get sound, but it won't be directly through the monitor, so make sure you know of an alternate method of getting sound from your console. And lastly, and this goes for all Samsung PLS panels, is the issue of backlight bleeding. Now Samsung PLS screens are known for having high levels of glow compared with IPS screens. Have a look here at an IPS panel manufactured by LG on the left and compare that to the Samsung PLS panel on the right. Note that this is in the dark and is much less pronounced in good lighting, and that not everyone even notices the extra glow. I for one am not affected by high levels of backlight bleed, but if you are, then perhaps this monitor is not for you. Overall though, I think this monitor in terms of value for money is one of the best options currently available, especially if you are a gamer with an AMD graphics card. The F350 series does offer good value for money and brings much better image quality over similar priced TN panels. It does have some drawbacks, but considering the price you pay, these can be forgiven. Anyway, that's the end of my review. If you found this video useful, please leave me a thumbs up or a comment, as it does help me to bring more content like this to you guys. Hey, thanks for watching and take care.